Sitting here this evening, it's hard to imagine that a week from today we will begin celebrating the festival of Pesach. Passover has somehow crept up on us, and although I've seen the Pesach supplies in the grocery store for months now, I feel somewhat unprepared for this holiday. And I think perhaps that sense of unpreparedness comes from the fact that our world is in such a state of flux and uncertainty at the moment that celebrating Pesach at this time seems very strange. But at the same time, perhaps it's exactly what we need. We need that moment in our annual calendar to remind us that time is still going, that the year is still passing and moving forward, and that we are once again celebrating our exodus from Egypt. It's certain that this year's Pesach will be very different to any other that we have ever celebrated. The restrictions and limitations on us will mean that we cannot gather together for huge family sederim with our friends and our family members. And that'll be strange. And it's fair for us to be upset at what we won't be able to celebrate. But at the same time, this new situation provides us with some opportunities. Perhaps we will join a Seder on the other side of the world via Zoom. Something we would never have imagined doing just a few weeks ago seems strangely normal now. Zooming in to be with friends and family to celebrate this evening will be a lovely thing that we can do, that we could always have done, but we would never have thought to do in the same way that we do now. And when I think about the festival of Pesach, when I think about Passover, it begins with our ancestors in the land of Egypt. And we read about them rushing to leave. They leave so quickly that they don't even have time for their bread to rise, and they carry with them this matzah, this strange bread that was not what they intended to be eating, not what they intended to be carrying with them, is the bread that they take with them into the wilderness. It's the bread that, for the beginning, sustains them at the start of that wilderness journey. And it's striking to think that now, all these thousands of years later, it's the bread that we still continue to eat. The matzah that was baked in such a hurry was not what they intended, and yet today it's still the food that we eat. It's the way that we remember their experiences, and it's the matzah that perhaps is the most central image of Pesach, of Passover, that we carry with us. Something that was not as it was planned to be, something that was not intended to turn out that way, is the memory that we carry for this festival. And I think that as we approach our Seder this year, as we approach this festival, it won't be the same. But there will be the opportunity for new memories, for new experiences, and we'll find that way to make it joyful, to celebrate being together virtually and celebrating a holiday with Jews around the world. All of us united in that celebration of emerging from Egypt, experiencing life in the wilderness, and journeying towards a promised land. Right now, for us and our world, we might well be in that wilderness, uncertain of what lies ahead, uncertain of how we even got here, having rushed into this stage and this new normal unexpectedly. But we've always had faith that we're on a journey towards the promised land. Pesach is that celebration that reminds us that we were slaves, but now we are free. We were slaves in Egypt. We journeyed through a wilderness and we made it to the promised land. We at Temple Shir Tikva will be providing a series of resources and educational opportunities to help you as you celebrate your Seder this year. Please do reach out to us with any questions. Please know that CJP, the Combined Jewish Philanthropies, have a wonderful project for Seder in a Box to help those in need who cannot get the food that they need for this year's Seder to have a box delivered to them. And we're endeavoring to find a way to deliver matzah to our community who need it and can't receive it or go out to buy it. Pesach will be different, but it will still be a wonderful opportunity to celebrate together. I'm looking forward to having the chance to celebrating with all of you virtually and making this a Pesach that we all will remember.